Greetings, people. It's Jared here, Wolfgang One, back to do another Transformers review. Now, this week I am reviewing another Headmaster Junior, second generation Headmaster, and I'm a little bit concerned that this one might end up going the same way as Hosehead did. I know that was like sort of 4 weeks ago now, but it's still heartbreaking. I'm still not completely over it. Yeah, so I'm going to try and be really, really careful with this fucker. I'm hoping everything goes according to plan. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a review for a Decepticon Junior Headmaster. He's a bit shit, but I like him, and you'll see why he's a bit shit, because he has very, very few saving graces. This is a review, ladies and gentlemen, for Decepticon Headmaster Fangry.
Okay, so here is Fangry in his wolf mode. He's actually a winged wolf. I'll come on to that fucking bullshit in a minute, right? But this is Fangry in his most basic mode. And there's a lot to unpack here, which I will come on to in a minute. I mean, it's not a massive toy. It's not a fantastic toy. It's very, very simplified. But I will come on to a couple of things that I've noticed about it in just a moment. Let's have a look at some of the things that he came with. He comes with one shield, which will form his shield, and also the completely winged wolf mode, right? Just like that. Comes with one gun, one blaster, all cast in like black plastic, which looks a little reminiscent of the blaster that Generation 1 Retgar had, and also looks like somebody else's. I can't quite put my finger on it at the moment, but it looks like that, trust me. And he also comes with his head. More to the point, he comes with the guy that turns into his head, and this is Briscoe. I'm never going to remember that, so I'm just going to call this guy something else. Greg or something like that. This is Greg, right? I'll probably use Greg before for somebody else, but Greg is what we're going to go with for the time being. And Greg here is a very, very simplified headmaster, just like Hosehead's was, except there's not as many parts or fucking about with the Decepticon ones as opposed to the Autobots. Now, I've transformed this guy a couple of times. I just want to make it known. I've transformed Fangry a couple of times, and he hasn't wanted to split apart like fucking Hosehead did. So that's good. I reckon this is going to have a good outcome, this review. So this is Briscoe. Not much to speak of whatsoever. In fact, let me see if I can get the light back a little bit so I can get him a little bit closer to the camera. Focus, thank you very much. And yeah, a central screw that's rusted on him. There's nothing really to speak of. There's a nice little bit of sculpted detail. No back plate to hide the face or anything like that. And to transform him, it's very, very simple. You just bend him over like that, and that's the head done. Okay. Again, would have been nice if they'd pick the eyes out with a different colour, or maybe have the eyes green and the face silver. That might have been nice. But all one colour is a bit weird, but whatever. So here's Fangry. Okay, this is Fangry, and to give Fangry his complete mode, what we basically do is we put the wings on this section just here. I'll just take the camera out a little bit, and lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, here is Fangry in his winged wolf mode. Now, I appreciate that the Decepticon Pretenders and the Decepticon Headmasters and that, you had to take a little bit of imagination, right? Because a winged wolf, I don't see too many of those around, ladies and gentlemen, winged wolves. And this is awkward as fuck. This release the winged wolves. It's awkward as fuck. It really is. I mean, if you want weapon storage, you can plug his gun into what I think was supposed to be a tail. That just looks like shit, so I tend not to bother. But in terms of other storage, he can hold Greg in his little chest compartment just here. Flip this open. Greg will stand in there very nicely, and then pop it back up, and that's Greg stored so you don't lose him. All in all, this mode is how can I put this? See, the things what I'm trying to do is say something nice about it, and I'm not sure I can. I don't hate this toy at all, but it is fucking shit. There's some lovely sculpted detail just through here to mimic the wolf's fur and everything like that. Shame they didn't pick out any of the teeth in white, because that's all in black plastic. Again, some nice detailing just here on the arms and on the legs as well. I know they would have done it, but if they'd have dry brushed it a little bit and picked out some of the details in the sculpting, that would have been nice, like the light is doing at the moment. But in terms of everything else, I mean, this winged wolf thing is either make him a wolf or make him a winged thing. Don't combine the two, because what you end up with, right, with the best intentions in the world, what you end up with is this shit, right? There's nothing else to say about it. It's like, oh, we could make a wolf. We could hang on. What about a winged wolf? And someone went, put the crack pipe down and went, I like it, keep going. And this is what you come out with. It's neither successful as a winged thing and neither successful as a wolf either. It's a wolf with a whopping great, I don't know, rocket backpack on it or something to help it fly. This is all kinds of shit. His little arms move a little bit like that, and I guess if they'd have put any thought into it, this section might have done, but this is screwed in, so the legs don't move. So there's nothing really wolfy about this thing at all, right? Apart from the fucking head. The winged wolf thing is for me not much of a disguise, really. Someone's going to see that coming a mile off and go, "That's not normal. This is far from fucking normal." So I mean, there's not a lot else to say about him in terms of everything else. The articulation is not forthcoming in this mode at all. So I think what we should do is go through the overly complicated transformation process to show him his robot, which is a little more successful, but still racked with fucking problems. So if we take off his wings, so he's now just a wolf. Let's open up his compartment again and take Greg out. Leave him just down there. Right, to transform this guy, hold on to your bollocks for this one, right? Pull the wolf's head down and leave it there, okay? Then flip out this back section just here and stretch it out, okay? They will actually form the robot legs. Now, if you don't own a Fangry, you're going to see very, very quickly where this falls down on itself, because that wolf's head there will not move any further than that, okay? That's as far as it goes. And then we flip the body up like this, and then this top section, I guess, would have formed a tail, splits apart, and then folds down to the sides, like this, okay? That is the robot body. Then we want to take Greg and transform Greg into head mode, and then just stick him on top of the shoulders like you do with any headmaster. Except Greg always wants to fucking get stuck. I'm trying to be so careful not to fucking break this because I don't trust these fucking things now. There we are. Greg brings down the power display, which I'm not going to bother reading out. It's I can't read it from here anyway. And then what we do is we give Greg his weapon like that. Not Greg, fucking Greg's on top of his shoulders. Fangry. We give Fangry his weapon, and then his shield wings go on there. And ladies and gentlemen, that is about as much excitement as you're going to get out of this figure, I'm afraid. Again, I don't hate him. I like the colour scheme. I think the colour scheme works fine, except for the fucking nylon green face. It would have been nice if these sections here had folded down, so you didn't have like the shoulder kibble. But the most egregious part of this would in fact be the wolf's head sticking out of his arsehole. Now, Weird Wolf was the same for this, right? With his tail section and his head section in robot mode, like sort of the alt mode kibble was almost unforgivable. I mean, you can fold those up and make it a little bit tight, smart if you want, but there's nothing you can do with this head at all. In fact, the head wants to keep falling down like that. That right there is a clear testament to say they didn't know what they were doing, or they didn't know how to finish it off. I mean, you could have like bring this down on like a pull-out joint, fold it back in, and maybe it tabs into like sort of the back just here or something. But to just have it hanging off his arsehole like some fucking cancerous polyp is not really good. I mean, I appreciate you're only really going to see the toy from the front, and all the playing is going to be done from the front, like all the pewing and everything like that. But as soon as you turn it around, it's like, whoa, see a doctor, that thing looks like it needs to come off. So yeah, that right there. And despite that, I will go back and say it again, despite that, I don't hate this toy. You'd think that I would have I would have a more of a disparaging opinion of it, considering I've not really said one good thing about it, apart from the sculpted detail for the wolf's fur. There's some great sculpted detail in the body and like sort of detailing and everything like that. Let's give them a little bit closer so you can see some of that. Focus would be nice, thank you very much. It's not the shittest toy in the world. I did pay about, I think I bought this at a convention. I think I paid near enough 50 or 60 quid for this because it's a second generation Headmaster and they're not as readily available or easily as complete. This guy was complete, as easily in a good condition as like the originals. But having said that, despite that, the one glaring fault that I would say, apart from the fact that this back section doesn't fold down, is the massive thing hanging out of his arsehole. That is, I'm sorry, that's it's a children's toy. I know it's a children's toy. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. It wouldn't be acceptable now, and as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't acceptable 35 years ago. That there is fucking shit, right? But apart from that, I appreciate the second generation Headmasters are not brilliant toys. I appreciate they are a little bit shit because of the year they came out, their overall design, and everything like that. But despite that, I still don't hate this toy. I actually kind of think it's quite funky. So there we are. Would I recommend getting one? If you want to, why not? Push the boat out, experiment a little bit, re-engineer it so he doesn't have a wolf's head sticking out of his anus, and yeah, do what you want with it. I think it's kind of cool. It's a very evocative of a certain time when having a wolf's head hanging out of your ass. No one used to bat an eyelid. It was just like a sign of the times, apparently. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this review. This is Joe Campo, also known as Wolfgang One, saying I'll be back next week, looking at some of the figures from my collection haul video, which is coming up in a couple of days' time. Do hope you look out for that. Until we see each other again, thank you for watching this, and take care.
And when tomorrow comes, I feel you laying by me, like you ain't got nowhere else to go.